Hello movers and shakers, it's Jay Burnham and this is the Real Jay Burnham Show. Today I've got an exciting video for you. Today we're going to be discussing how to handle bad reviews. Alright, we all get them, we're going to get them. If you haven't gotten any, congratulations, but eventually down the line you're going to get a bad review. You're going to get somebody that says you didn't perform like you promised you were going to perform, or you didn't perform based on how I think you should have performed, and you're going to get a bad review. It's going to happen. You can't please everybody all the time. It's just an unfortunate circumstance of our world. You could be the best service, give them the best rates, do everything under the sun, bend over backwards, and just because somebody sneezed in the wrong direction, you're getting a bad review. It happens. It's the way life is. So the first thing you've got to understand is when you get a bad review, don't freak out, don't panic, don't get upset, don't make it personal, right? Don't worry about it. Everybody gets a bad review. I don't care how good and how personable you are, you're going to get a bad review. So don't freak out. Treat it just like anybody else who gives you any sort of criticism. It's okay to be criticized, whether you're right or you're wrong, all right? Now, the first thing is you got to then, when you get a bad review, read the review, and if you're getting emotional, if you're getting upset, put it aside, walk away from it, come back a little bit, read it again. I would like you to read your review at least 5 times before you do any kind of response. Read it 5 times. If you have to take an entire day to read it, take it. You should do it as quickly as possible, but if it takes you an entire day, take an entire, but you should read it 5 times. Read that entire thing 5 times. And each time you read it, it will get less and less emotional for you. So it takes out the emotionality of it. It takes out the upsetness and you're just like, I'm gonna hate them for life. Just don't go worry about it, okay? It's gonna happen, right? So just read it 5 times through, and then by the 5th time you should just be reading it, and it was like boom, okay? And then what you should do is then you take the review, you go out to the crew who is responsible, and you ask them, hey, this is what the customer said. This is what they say you guys did. Is this true? What happened? Ask the pointed questions, because believe it or not, you show them the review, and they're gonna, I guarantee your crew is gonna probably do the same thing you do. They're gonna freak out, blah, 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 blah. Just be very calm and say, hey, listen, it's okay. I just want to know the truth, okay? Just let me know. Did you guys do this? Yes. And then go over it with them 5 times, right? Make sure that you go over it, and then every time it will get less and less, and eventually you'll get the truth come out, and you'll find out exactly what occurred, right? Because maybe your crew did something wrong, and if they did something, we're going to show you how to handle it. If they didn't do anything wrong, if they handled it entirely correctly, there's a way to handle that too, right? Even if you got the review. Because let's face it, some reviews are unwarranted. Some are just completely BS. You did nothing wrong, and you're getting a bad review only because they just didn't like your cologne that day or whatever, or the sun was set in the west, and rose in the east. They just get upset. And then there's sometimes your guys make an error, right? And you've got to be able to handle both situations. So the first step, right, of handling a bad review, this is after you've read it, this is after you've acknowledged your crew and talked to your crew at the thing. So when you're actually going to go online and you're going to handle this review, you're going to write it up. First thing you want to do, the first step of handling a bad review is prevention. All right, so I'm going to back it up just a little. I'm going to backpedal a little bit. The first step is prevention. That is making sure your crews are trained in how to do their job, the customer service. If there is an upset, how to handle the upset, how to communicate properly. Let's face it, we're not all communicative people. Some of us communicate better than others. Some of us just, some of us look like we're mad all the time. I had that problem when I was younger. I just looked like I was mad, right? I would be smiling. My face would be cracked ear to ear. At least that's what it felt like. I'd actually have my face would be like in pain because I was smiling so much. And people go, why do you look so mad? I'm like, what? I didn't realize my smile wasn't a smile on my face. It felt like I was smiling, but my face wasn't showing it. So you've got to get the expressions thing. So the first thing is prevention. Train the crews on how to communicate. Train the crews on how to do their job. When something goes wrong, what is the procedure that you have trained? What is the 1, 2, 3 ABC procedure you have when something goes wrong? Prevention is the cure to bad reviews, right? But okay, you've done all that. Now you got this bad review. What's the first step? All right, now we're going to talk like, okay, you've read the reviews, you talk to your crew. Now what do? First off, you got to always be polite and professional. Always be polite and professional. No matter what you do, you're not going to write your response to the bad review incorrectly. Okay, you're not going to have any emotional human emotion and reaction. Just nothing. No emotion, no reaction. It's going to just be, as the old television show way back when, just the facts, ma'am. You're going to be very polite. You're going to be very professional. Next thing you need to do is be empathetic. You got to put yourself into your customer's shoes. Maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe, find out what was going on that day. Did their dog die? Did the kid run out on the road? What happened? Why are they moving in the first place? What's going on? Maybe it's a divorce, and so the person's just blah, you know what I mean? And, maybe it's a female that's getting divorced and she hates all men at that time. True story, happens, okay? You're going to have to be very empathetic. Find out what's going on. Find out what they're upset about. Put yourself into their shoes, right? Next thing is never, ever, under any circumstances, blame the customer or make them wrong. Now, there was a guy the other day who he puts up on the thing, goes, okay, who's got the balls to put up a bad review and how you handle it? Which I grant, the guy's got balls to do that, man. That's bravery, right? So he put up a bad review and he put up his response to it. But in the response, although, the first part of it, very, very polite, very, very professional, very empathetic, was great. Last portion, very professional, very, empathetic, just no human emotion. But there's one little part that goes, you didn't talk to me. You did not call me. No. If something went wrong, it's your fault. Okay? No matter what, it's always your fault. Not that the customer's always right, but the problem is always your fault. There was something you could have done better. If you take on the attitude that whatever happens in life, that it's your fault, then you could have said something a little bit better. You could have made something a little bit clearer. There are small micro decisions you made that failed or led to this situation, right? And it's okay. And actually, if you read the book Extreme Ownership, I believe it's called, it's by a Navy SEAL. And in Grant Cardone's book too, in the 10X book, he talks about responsibility. You cannot control other people's environments. You can't control their universe. The only universe that you can control is yours. So if you take responsibility, you take ownership, even if you're in the right, you take ownership, then you can actually handle it, okay? So never blame the customer. Never make them wrong. Never say you should have done or you didn't do, right? In any of your communications, right? You never say that to the customer. You should have done this or you could have done that, but you didn't do blah. Those are blaming the customer. That is making the customer wrong. Never, ever, ever do that. If you want to write your response, fine. Write your response up. Come back to it later and do it like you read it, Read it 5 times. How is this going to make the person respond, okay? So that's it. Number 4, now you're actually going to write your response. One thing I want you to do is acknowledge the situation and apologize for the situation. Let's say you bad move. The customer had a bad move. In their mind, they had a bad move. You're going to say, Dear Jane, We are so sorry that you did not get the service that you thought you deserved. We completely and humbly apologize for the service that you felt that you should have gotten from us. We pride ourselves on giving you the not only 100%, but 110%. We obviously failed that standard, and I want to apologize. Notice, I apologize for the bad service. I did not apologize for what the customer thinks that we may have done wrong, right? Because you may be in the right, but you may be in the wrong. All I'm saying is apologize that they did not get the service that they wanted, right? You got to make sure that they understand that you apologize, that you did not live up to the standards which they felt they should have been. That is your responsibility. That's all you need to really take responsibility for at this time, right? At the first, your first and the second, I apologize that you did not receive the service that you felt you should have gotten. I apologize, right? The next thing is you're going to explain what went wrong. Okay, apparently we had a failure to communicate. I did not communicate my estimate as clearly as I should have. I wrote it down, I put it down on a piece of paper, I sent it, you signed for it. I apologize that I didn't actually point out the very specific parts where this situation violated. Or if you're wrong, I want, what happened is, my guys had a bad day. They were tired. They were angry. They didn't get any food. Not to minimize, but this is what happened. I apologize. Whatever the situation, explain what went wrong, where it broke down, and what happened. And maybe it started right from the get-go. Maybe you didn't have a big enough truck and had to make a second trip, and then it just snowballed. Whatever. Just say, hey, look, this is where it broke down. We didn't have enough truck. After that, the guys got really tired, you got exasperated, and obviously we should have had a bigger truck. That's just hypothetically, right? Whatever it is, if you didn't do anything wrong, just explain where it may have broken down within the communication. Because I guarantee if you did nothing wrong, then there was a breakdown somewhere in communication. They didn't understand something that you said or you provided to them. Or you didn't make it very clear to them what could have gone wrong. You did not communicate, right? So when you did nothing wrong within technically of the move, did nothing went wrong, but they were still upset with the service. It was a breakdown in communication. Guaranteed, 100%, the end, period, right? The second scenario is that you guys screwed up. Well, explain where it screwed up and how it went wrong. All right, the next step then is to detail what you're going to do to fix the situation or what you have done to fix the situation, right? In the first step said, thank you very much. I'm glad that this was brought to my attention. I am going to be in the future. I'm going to make sure that I point out these very specific points to my future customers. You've given me an education, and I appreciate that. And that's how I'm going to grow and get better. I really do apologize that you had such and such service. But because you gave me this review, I now know where I can get better, okay? You're not making the customer wrong. You're just apologizing where the breakdown happened and how it's going to benefit you, right? Also, you could also then start saying, if you would like, I would like to make this right for you. Give me a call or send me a direct message or send me an email so that I can work with you to make this right. Right? And I'm not saying to give them a discount. I'm not saying to give them a refund. I'm not saying, although that might occur, but maybe it's just, they just want to call you and vent. Whatever is, give them an out, right? All right. The second scenario is when you did wrong, say, look, so I went over with the guys. I talked to them. I found out what went wrong. I apologize. This is what, this guy got fired. This guy was corrected. These guys, all of them were corrected. And we put in place a procedure now so that this shouldn't occur in the future. I apologize. If you'd like to discuss this further, please give me a call, email me, direct message me, whatever it is. But tell them in detail how you're going to fix the situation or how the situation was fixed. Maybe you fired your guy. Be point blank. Listen, this guy was completely off the rails. I apologize. You should not have ever been under thing. I apologize. He has been terminated from employment here. Call me, so that we can rectify this and maybe make you a happy customer. All right? And just do that, okay? But detail exactly what the handling is and how you fixed it, okay? That's all you really need to do. And once you've done that, then you want to follow up with a other series, maybe a phone call, maybe text message, maybe a direct message on their Facebook. Say, look, I left a response. Please take a look at that. If you want to go over it, let me know, and so on and so forth. Maybe, and then and whatever you need to do, handle the situation. If it was this first scenario where you did nothing wrong, but it was just a breakdown in communication, fine. Acknowledge that. You know, send them a $50 gift certificate to their local coffee shop. It's a small price, and it's a small little thing. It's not a big deal. Maybe $25. It doesn't matter. A little memento say you're sorry. That will go a long way, right? And to rectify it. And then obviously the ideal scene is to get them to change their review, right? But there are going to just be some people that will change the review, and then there's some that you're just never, no matter what you do, no matter how you've handled it, they're still going to leave it. They're still going to be mad. And in those cases, it is what it is, right? But here's what happens. If you follow these procedures and you write that down as a response to their bad review, it's going to make you look like the professional that you truly are. It's going to make you look like you truly care, that you're empathetic, that you understood, and that people are going to see that when they read the bad review, but they're going to read the response and they go, oh, well, okay, good. These guys took responsibility. Okay, when they screw up, they're going to admit it. They're going to take responsibility. They're going to fix it. That, believe it or not, is one thing, is a huge top button. What happens in the customer mind? The customer's wondering, if they screw up, are they going to take responsibility? Are they going to blame me? Are they going to just leave me to the wind? They really want to know how you're going to handle that. But by doing this, following these simple procedures, right, being polite, being apologetic, being empathetic, empathy is a huge key here, putting yourself in their shoes, and then apologizing for the bad service, and then, you know, following up and go, okay, this is what probably happened. All right, guys, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm actually going to put, hopefully, by the time you see this video, I'm going to have there's going to be a website up where you can go and download my email, my bad review template, or email template, or Facebook template. You can use this template, right, to write in your response to a bad review, right? And then you can, so every time, if not every time, but when you do get a bad review, you can use this template and put that up on the Facebook, on Google, Yelp, or whatever you need to put it up on, so that you can use it, right? And then it's very standard. It'll be very good. It's going to be a very simple template, right? If you're in my Moving Companies Insiders group, it will be absolutely free. But to those guys who are not inside my Moving Company Insiders group, there will be a small charge for it, right? So I'm going to have that up on a website very soon. It will be in the description. If it's not when I first publish this video, it will be shortly. But don't freak out. There will be there. But the way you can get it definitely is you can go to Moving Companies Insiders Facebook group and ask to join. If you do decide to join that group, there are 3 questions that I ask. If you don't answer those questions, you will not be allowed inside the group. It is a closed group, so you have to be approved by me to get in, because I really want to make this a good group, people that are using it, not somebody that's going to use it to sell or spam or just not contribute. Because if you're not contributing to the group, then please don't come to the group. Because we're here to learn and build off from each other, right? Iron sharpens iron. All right, guys, so that's my video today. Hopefully you'll like it. Hopefully you'll follow those procedures. I would love to know, and leave me a comment in the section, how you applied this video, how you apply these standards so that you can actually get a better response and better reviews. Tell me how you applied it, or tell me your version of it, and I would love to see that too as well. And tell me tell me some success stories with using this. I'd like to hear it. Put that down in the comments section below. You can always email, of course, or send it to me on Facebook, wherever. But make sure that you like this video. You put a you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever. It's okay one way or the other. Make sure you share this with all your family, friends, and of course, don't forget, subscribe to this channel. There will be a little button right down there. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and share this with all your family and friends. Thank you very much. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.